Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon and good evening to all of you. This is your host Vaibhav. In today's session of JForex Indicators Explained, I am going to explain to you the concept, the underlying logic and some of the possible uses of a very interesting indicator named as trend trigger factor. These are indicators which tries to look for the strong moves on either side using the concept of buy power and sell power. We look at these output and try to measure, try to infer who is having the upper hand. The scale of power is tilted on which side. Using this, you can decide what's happening, how the things are shaping up in the market, and what are the possibilities of the continuation of the trend or the reversal therein. So these are very useful indicators. Let us now get to the JForex Export, the newly released trading platform from the Dukascopy Bank SA. This is the Euro USD chart with each shadow period defined at hourly. I have added this TTF indicator with the default calculation period of 15. As I said in my introductory remark, the concept of buy power and sell power is used to measure the strength of the bulls and bear over the given period. Whatever is your chosen calculation period over that period, we compare the highest point and the lowest point. So basically, we try to measure the range over these two calculation periods and with comparing the range and the recent price information, if the highs are more prominent or if the lows are more prominent, so the weight is given accordingly and we get a fair idea of the momentum, how things are continuing at the current juncture, what the range is, and in that range, within that range, where the things stand. So we can then make the interpretation of whether to go with the trend or if to wait for the possible reversal in the current trend and then take the trade accordingly. So let us now consider its possible uses. I have given to you the concept, and if you want the exact formula, you can easily get it. You all you need to do is a simple search on the internet, and you will get the precise formula. As I am not going into the calculation mode. Rather than that, we will see how we can utilize this indicator and customize it to look for the profitable trading opportunities on this platform. I have already added it. To add it, all you need to do a quick search. If you simply type in the TTF, you will have this option appearing for you on the platform. There is not much confusion here on this front. So now let us look at the possible uses. These indicators output falls in three broad categories: the plus 100, 100 to minus 100, and below minus 100. So these are the three important categories for this indicator's output value. And looking at that, we can draw the inference if the momentum is strong or if the things are sideways or if the possibility of the continuation of the trend is there or not. So all these kind of possibilities can be considered and we can make a informed trading decision. The simple interpretation of this indicator is as follows. The output value, when it is above 100, it is considered to be strongly bullish. If the output of this indicator, the trend trigger factor, is in between 100 on the upside and minus 100 on the lower side, it is considered to be sideways. There is a lack of a strong trend. Things are moving in a range and we will do well to plot our trades accordingly. We will be in a better position if we expect the price range to remain narrow and plan our trades within that range to exploit the given range. And when we have the output of this indicator below minus 100, that is indication of a strongly bearish trend. So accordingly, we can start looking for the possible short selling trade and try to take advantage of the situation. So this is the hourly chart, and if we look at the recent price developments, you will observe that we have this situation where the underlying instrument, the Euro USD, had moved above this 100 level in yesterday's trading session. After that, the things remain on the bullish side for a while, but after stabilizing around this 1.097 level, the USD has started to go sideways. It hasn't declined much. It has simply traded in this narrow range of around 40 to 50 pips. But even in that scenario, even in lack of strongly bearish trend, we have seen the output of the TTF inching closer to minus 100. It is yet to drop below minus 100. So we can use these output value, the inclination where it is falling on the lower side, it is declining from this peak value of 191. So that's how we get the idea of the weakening of the current trend. The trend was bullish, but now it might be weakening further, and the underlying instrument is likely to move in this narrow range. So in that context, it is better for us to plan our trades accordingly with the expectation of the price moves remaining in a narrow range and not go for a big trade. So with that kind of assessment, we will be in a better position to go for the profit making opportunities. Now, if we consider the current output value here, it is at minus 92. It is still above our criterion of the minus 100. So we will have to trade cautiously here because the momentum is neither strongly bearish nor bullish. So it is a situation of the underlying instrument moving in a narrow range with the consolidation phase. So unless the output drops below minus 100, we do have to trade cautiously, and we will have to adopt a wait and watch approach. Now, if we see that in the coming hours, if the output of the indicator drops below minus 100, then of course that would be the opportunity for us to start exploring the possibility of short sale trade. We can even expect the big move on the lower side, but the current situation is a bit confusing. So it will be better for us to sit on the sidelines and wait for the clarity to emerge. So this indicator in a way gives out three possibilities depending on the output value. We get this clearer picture if the trend is strong or not, or if the situation is simply sideways. So we can then plan our trades accordingly. We will be in a much better position to ride out the choppy movements. We won't be making too many false trades because as we have this range defining criterion that will help us out in avoiding this kind of choppy markets. Even if we go back earlier in time, we have had this kind of situation earlier as well, and this consolidation phase did give way to the strong moves eventually. So once we see the momentum gaining strength, momentum gaining ground, we can indeed go for the entry for the new trades when we see this kind of strong trend developing, when we see the output of these TTF rising above 100, and that opens up the possibility of a strong move further in the given direction. Same principle we can apply on the lower side when we see the output dropping below minus 100. It is indication of the bears having a upper hand, and that opens up the windows for possible move on the lower side and short selling opportunities in the market. So this kind of assessment can help us in figuring out the trading opportunities, and we can then decide whether to go for the trade or to sit on the sidelines. Now I will give you a brief refresher on these customization options available on the platform. We will look at the editing panel and what we can do in terms of customizing these indicator. It's taking some time. All we can do is vary its calculation period. So if you want to make these indicators less prone to the fluctuation, you can of course increase its calculation period, and that will introduce a smoothing factor. We will see only when we have a sustained move on either side. The output of the indicator will make substantial changes. For example, if I go for 2 days worth of data, that is 48 candidates of 1 hour each, we will see that these extreme values are going to be reached less infrequently, less frequently, and only when we see a strong trend developing on either side, the output will change the course of action from one side to another, or else it will continue to trade on the same side, as is the case with Euro USD for last couple of sessions, where it has continued to gain ground after stabilizing around the levels of 1.065. It consolidated, and then afterward it changed course, and now here we have seen it gaining almost 300 pips in last couple of sessions. If you feel like, you can reduce the calculation period as well. Now I'm reverting back to 15. The output, you can customize the color combination, so that possibility is there. And you can go for different styling combinations as well, which can be increased or decreased. Transparency factor can also be varied. We can go for increased transparency if you feel the line is looking too prominent on the chart. In advanced editing panel, we have the option of recalculate on new candle only. You can do that as well. Highlight the time period zone. Whatever is your calculation period, it will be highlighted. We can further customize the calculation with these options provided of going for the instrument from the chart, or you can specify it from your side as well. The candle period can be used from the chart, or if you feel like, you can have a different candle period utilized for the calculation, even if the candle period is defined differently for the chart. So all that option have been provided on the platform to make your customization much easier and also simpler to understand, simpler to execute. The spread side can be same from the chart or defined independently as well. If you want the indicator to be available on all the candle periods, whenever you change the chart's candle period, you can have it, or else you can specify on which particular time frame you want it, and accordingly it will appear on that chart as well. So that option has been provided on the chart. So with these, I think my job is done for the day. We saw the concept, the calculation formula, not in the details, but still I try to give you a precursor of the formula. You can get it by a simple search on the internet, so no big deal. And we also looked at some of the possible uses of these indicators. So do try it out, go for the observation over a long period of time, and you will be in a position to come up with your own custom-made strategy using the trend trigger factor indicator. So that's all from my side for today's session. If any of you have any query or any idea to share, do write to me in the feedback, and I will be more than happy to take the discussion forward. Thank you all for joining in. Have a fabulous day ahead, a fabulous week ahead. See you next time around with a equally interesting indicator. Goodbye.